It would take one doctor 10,000 weeks to read and understand 10 million patient files. Watson does that in 15 seconds. Now, if you read this, what is that saying? Watson does that. What is that? Well, I guess it's read and understand 10 million patient files. So it's making this sort of comparison to this human activity we all understand, but we know under the surface it must not be exactly the same, right? So how do we interpret that? Another thing, too, is in these videos, so you see all these documents here flying around and the numbers and things. One difficulty in visualizing AI that's sort of pernicious, and this happened even in a Nova special where we were consulting on how to show this, is it's difficult to tell who the subject here. Is the perspective that of a human watching this operation of the machine, or is the perspective that of Watson? Because it starts off, this video starts off looking through the screen at the user, so it almost feels like it's Watson. And you see all these documents flying around, and we're zooming in on the right answer, we're going over here, we're going over there. So it seems like it's the agency of the computer is deciding these things. That's fine. That's good to understand the algorithm, but at the same time, everything is in text, and that's not how Watson sees text. When you see those documents, you understand what they mean. Watson is zooming around looking at documents that are in its knowledge base, but it doesn't understand human language. What it sees is probably, let me jump ahead if I can. This is what it sees. It just sees all these tokens. It doesn't even know what the words are. And this is actually a Jeopardy question. And this is what Watson has to do in answering a Jeopardy question, is match tokens to other tokens. Anybody know this one? Okay, I'll give you a hint. You might not actually need that. So you might be able to get the answer here. It's almost possible, but really what this is we have all these tokens that are words, and we have some axioms about these words. And based on that, we try to come up with the right answer. And something about Watson is when we were doing this for the passage scoring, so these are passages on the right, and these passages contain correct answers to the question on the upper left there. We were not using much background knowledge for understanding the passages. We were mostly just using these sorts of equality axioms over here, and we had some simple hyponymy and hypernymy, which are, this is a subtype of this. So we did use a lot of that in deciding whether an answer was the right type of thing, because if we see that it's asking for a movie or a flick or a person or a president or a country or a this or that, we would use those resources. But while reading the clues, we actually didn't have a whole lot of semantic information. We had some relation detectors, which would identify things like you're born in here, you were alive during here, and so forth, but that was about it. So the question actually is, Dean says, think of it, Sal, I've never been to Chicago in all my life, never stopped in this 1957 classic. So now once you read this, immediately you know the answer, and you don't know the answer because you're looking at past